so long, and it's because I have been doing a lot of more studying and I wasn't able to make that many videos. However, we'll be starting up again with a few videos each week. But other than that, we will be learning about odd and even numbers today. Some of you may already know what odd and even numbers are, but odd and even numbers are really important, which will help you throughout the later years if you're younger. And it even helps you later on when you're learning about division, multiplication. It's a really useful tool. Alright, so let's talk about even numbers. Even numbers are numbers such as 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. And as you can see, this is like the starting of counting by twos, right? If you know how to count by twos, you know what even numbers are. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. And as you can see, at the end, it all ends with one of these numbers. So I'll explain what that actually means. Numbers that end with 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 are also even numbers. This is what I was talking about, such as 12. The ending number is what? 2, which means that this number 12 is also an even number. Another example would be 34. What's the ending number? 4, that's correct, which makes 34 as an even number as well. So as you can see, as long as it ends with one of these numbers, it's all even numbers. So let's see, 46, it ends with what? 6. So it's also an even number. And what about 100? This is a big number. But as you can see, it ends with what? 0. So that means that it is also an even number. Last one, the number 88. It ends with what? 8. Also an even number. So remember, for even numbers, if it ends with 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, they're all even numbers. Now, let's talk a little about odd numbers. Odd numbers are numbers such as 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, right? These numbers are odd numbers. And the numbers that end in 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 are also odd numbers, such as 41. You see that the 41 ends with what? A 1. So that this number would be an odd number. Next one, you have the number 73. It ends with what? 3. So is this an odd number? Yes, it is. 73 would be an odd number because it ends with the 3. Now, what's next? 85. It ends with a 5. So it is also an odd number. What about 67? It ends with 7. So it is also an odd number. So as you can see, as long as it ends with 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, they're all odd numbers. Just like a big number such as 109, also an odd number. Now, this is something important that we can learn about that may be easier for you to understand what even numbers are. So even numbers are always in pairs. What does that mean? Pairs. So let's say that you have to get with your partner and read, and we are going in pairs. So that means that you'll have one partner, right? And this is pair and pair. You'll have one person next to you. Another pair would be like 6. There's one pair, 2, 3, right? And every time there's a pair, there's 2 people. And in total, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No one is left out. But let's look at odd numbers. Odd numbers are not in pairs. So you'll see that sometimes there's only one thing left out. So let's say there's 2 circles, 3, right? The third one doesn't have a partner. It's alone, and that's why it's called an odd number. Another example would be 5. As you can see here, this is lined up with this is lined up with this, but then this one is by itself, right? And that shows that it's also an odd number. So as you know, for even numbers, they're always in pairs, just like this, 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 this. But odd numbers, there's always something that's by itself and there's no partner with it. That's why they're called odd numbers. Now, This is the story that we'll be reading. It's called Ruby Makes It Even, and it's by Lisa Harrader and illustrated by M.L. Piltz. But other than that, this is how even numbers look like: 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? As you can see, every time there's an even number, the number next to it is actually an odd number. This is what I wanted you to see visually so then you can kind of understand. And also, as you can see, it all ends with 2, 4, 6, 8, and 0. Those would be the even numbers. As for the odd numbers, it ends with what? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. As you know, more practice there is, the more that we'll be able to understand it. But let's start with reading this book, copyright information that we need, and let's begin. Ruby makes it even. Ruby! Millie squeezes my arm. We're here! At last, says Beth. We've been waiting all year for our school trip. Now we're finally here. Rainforest Fun Park, I whispered. Wow. Our bus rumbles to a stop. Millie, Beth, and I pile out, along with everyone else from Langston Elementary. The teachers began sorting us into groups. Oh no, my little brother Leroy lumbers towards me, swinging his arms like a trunk. Ruby, look, he says. I'm an elephant. Even worse, my bossy older sister Jo strides over. Ruby, be sure you... I know. I scurry off before she can finish. I don't need Jo's bossiness or Lorraine's annoying jokes wrecking my day. I dodge them both and stick with my two best friends, Millie and Beth. So as you can see, this is like kind of a park where there's like a really fun ride. And let's see what happens during this trip. The three of us troop into the park. I stop and stare up. And up, I've heard about it. I've seen ads. And here it is towering above us. Mongols scream, whispers Beth. As we watch, a raft loaded with riders swoops into the Congo River at the top of Mongol Mountain. It hurtles over rapids, spins around whirlpools, and vanishes into a dark cavern. So they're talking about this one, right here. For a few tense moments, shrieks and squeals echo from inside. I hold my breath. A raft shoots out from the other side. It hangs in the air and then plummets down Mongol Waterfall and splashes into the lake below. It looks fun. It looks thrilling. I gulped. Oh no, it looks scary. Would you want to ride this? I think I would actually like it. Let's go, Millie sets off for Mongol Scream. No, I cry before I can stop myself. Locomotive Jungle is right there. Let's ride it first. Millie stops. We've been waiting to ride Mongol Scream all year. That was before I'd actually seen it. She's getting a little scared. Let's vote, I say. Who wants to ride Locomotive Jungle? I quickly raise my hand. Millie crosses her arms over her chest. We turn to Beth. Slowly she raises her hand. Let's save the best Mongol Scream for last. Good news, I had the whole day to work up my courage. So courage is what? Being brave, right? So she's kind of scared. So right now she needs to work up on trying not to be scared, to loosen up a little so she can get ready for the ride. Bad news, I had the whole day to worry about the Mongol Scream. We scramble aboard Locomotive Jungle. Beth finds a bench up front. Millie slides in beside her. They try to scoot closer, but there isn't any room. As you can see in this ride, there's what? It's in pairs. So it's 2 by 2 by 2. And how many are there? 1, 2, 3. 3 friends, right? I crawl onto the bench behind them. I tell them myself that it's great to have a seat to myself. But it's no fun being odd kid out. So she's the odd kid out. She's one person, right? 1, 2, 3. That means 3 is an odd number. As you can see, I told you before that odd numbers, there's always one person or one thing that's alone by themselves. After Locomotive Jungle, we vote to ride the Python. This time I sit next to Beth. Millie sits behind us by herself. It's no fun seeing your friends left out either. Good news, we keep voting and writing. So this time, someone else takes the turn of sitting by themselves, right? Bad news, all the rides are made for even numbers. We take turns pairing up, but someone always has to ride alone. Plus, everywhere we go, Mungo Scream looms overhead. So as you can see, even on this one, since there are three, one of them needs to be left out. And the good thing about them is that they take turns, right? We're about to vote again when I spot Leroy with his friends Carlos and Jamal. They're carrying armloads of snacks, snapping their jaws like crocodiles. Before Leroy can see me, I pull Millie and Beth into a treehouse arcade. So this is where she's going. As you can see, this is how many people? 1, 2, 3. Which shows me that this one is also a what? Even or odd number. Odd number, and that's correct. And they're also 3, right? But let's say that we add them all together. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Would that be an even or odd number? That's correct. It should be an even number. That's if we put all of them together, right? And runs smack into Rob, a kid from my reading group. Where's your group? Millie asks him. Rob shrugs. Our group had 3, but the rides are for even numbers. I was odd kid out. But now you're by yourself, says Beth. You're really odd kid out. Suddenly, I have got a brilliant idea. You're an odd number, 1, I tell Rob. We're an odd number 3. But an odd number plus an odd makes an even number. Rob's eyes grew wide, and an even 4 means nobody's left out. So they realized that if they add all of them together, 1, 2, 3, 4, it would be an even number. As you know, again, even numbers are in pairs and no one's left out. So this was actually a really good plan. The 4 of us set off. We ride jungle jalopies, swing vine, and parrot plunge. The seats are 4 across, so nobody has to ride alone. Mungo Scream still looms overhead, but I'm still having such a great time it doesn't even seem scary. In fact, I'm looking forward to it. Come to think of it, I can hardly wait. All because I'm an even number. That settles it, I say. Evens are way better than odds. Because no one gets left out. And that's just great. You feel great, you have someone to sit in with. What should we ride next? Says Bob. I vote crocodile canoes, says Beth. Me too, I say. I vote Amazon Zing, said Millie. Rob nods. It has a shorter line. We look at each other. An even number is great until you can't break a tie. We're trying to decide what to do when Leroy and his friends trudge up. They look a little green. We've been searching for you everywhere, moans Leroy. We don't feel so good, says Carlos. We ate a lot of snacks, says Jamal. So they've been eating and eating, so they're not feeling that well. Leroy can be annoying. Leroy makes awful jokes. But Leroy is my little brother. I have to take care of him, I say. Millie, Beth, and Rob agree. They vote for Leroy and his friends to join our group. So now, how many people are there? Let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good news, an even plus an odd makes an odd. Now we have 7. We can break our tie. Bad news, Leroy, Carlos, and Jamal are too sick to ride anything fun. We end up on a lazy sloth, a boat that drifts around the lake below the Mungo Scream. When the ride ends, I help Leroy and his friends off. As you can see here, 7 is an even number because why? Something is missing. One of them doesn't have a partner and one of them is left out. And runs straight into Jo. She's with her friends Claire and Heather. Our teacher said we have time for one more ride before we load the buses, Jo tells us. Mungo Scream! Shout Millie, Rob, and Beth. Leroy, Carlos, and Jamal moan. I sigh. Go on without me. I'll get these guys on the bus. Jo frowns. And let your friends ride without you? You'll miss the best ride in the park. Jo gives Leroy a stern look. I know you feel sick, she says, but you need to start feeling better. You don't want to keep us off, Mungo Scream. I blink. Us? Yes, us, says Jo. Claire, Heather, and I saved Mungo Scream for last. I won't go if you're stuck here. You're my little sister. I have to look out for you. So Joe and her friends join a group. They're an odd and we're an odd, so we're even again. That's something that we're actually going to learn about in another video where you add odd and even numbers and see what you get. But that's for later on. First, we gotta understand what even and odd numbers are by themselves. They hike up Mungo Mountain is what Leroy and his friends needed. Or maybe Joe's stern look does the trick. Either way, they're less green by the time we reach the top. We scramble aboard our raft. It seats an even number, 10, which happens to be exactly the same number as our group. As you can see here, 10 is an even number. Why? Because no one's left alone. We strapped in, and the raft swoops into the Congo River. We hurtle around over rapids, spin around whirlpools, and plunge into the dark cavern. We shriek and we squeal. Then we shoot out the other side. The raft hangs in the air for a moment before we plummet down the Mungo waterfall and splash into the pool below. Kinda looks like fun, right? Good news, it's fun, it's thrilling. Better news, it's scary, but that just makes it even more fun. Best news, nobody has to be the odd kid out. And that's the end of the story. As you can see, they're just saying that even numbers come in pairs, such as 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 again. And the odd ones, there's always someone that's missing. 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And there's always someone that's not the odd one out. And that's the end of the story. And now we'll be going back to for some time for some even and odd questions. And for this part, we're actually going to ask a few questions, and we're going to ask whether it's even or odd. So let's look at this number. The number is 26, right? What do we have to look at to find if a number is even or odd? We need to look at the back number, right? So think about this. Is 6 an even or odd number? If you think it's even, let me know and click the first one. If you think it's the odd, point to the second one. I'll give you some time to think about it. Alright, let's go over it. The answer should be even because it's a 6 at the end, and 6 come in pairs, which means they're an even number. Next one, even or odd, the number 35. Give you some time to think about that one. Alright, let's go over it. The answer should be odd because why? It ends with the number 5, and 5 is actually an odd number. Again, it's missing a person, so that means that it's an odd number. The numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Odd numbers. The even numbers would be counting by 2s, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Next number, even or odd, the number 49. Give you some time to think about that one. Alright, let's go over it. Where should we look to see if the number is even or odd? We have to look at the front or the back number. Correct, the ending number, and the number is the number 9, so that means that this number is odd. Again, 1379. 13579 odd. 13579 odd. Sometimes you have to repeat it again and again in order to memorize it. And 24680 even, right? Next one, even or odd, the number 3086. What number should you look at before you pick whether the number is even or odd? Think about that. Alright, let's go over it now. The answer should be what? Even, because the number that we're looking at here is the number 6, and 6 is part of the even group, right? And the numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, and 0. And odd would be what? Let's say it together. 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Alright, now I want you to take out a piece of paper and pencil, and you are going to go through this mini quiz. You're going to write whether the number is even or odd. I'm going to give you some time to think about this. I'm going to repeat one more time about what even numbers are and what odd numbers are. Even would be what? Numbers that include 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. In front, the odd numbers would be 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And that's what you're going to be using, and then I want you to take your time and think whether the number is even or odd. Alright, so I'm actually going to go over each one of them now. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video, which means to stop the video, and look at the numbers and answer all of them before you watch all the answers show up, okay? And right now I'm going to go over it, so if you need to, if you're not done, pause the video right now. Alright, so these should be the answers. The first one should be odd because it ends with the number 9. And again, odd numbers include the numbers 1, 3, 7, 5, and 9. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So then, since it ends with a 9, that means an odd number. As for the next number, 66, it ends with the what? A 6. And as you know, the even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8, and 0. And since it ends with the 6, it's an even number. Now you see the word number 45. The number 45, it ends with the 5. And what group is that from? The odd group, where there's the numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So that is an odd number. As for the number 79, the 9 ends with what? It's in what? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So it's also an odd numbers. As for the last one, 94, the 4 is an even number, right? So that means 94 is also an even number. Again, I'm going to repeat, the even numbers end with 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. If you need to write that down, write it down on the piece of paper that you just wrote it on. And the odd numbers end with 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Alright, great job to you. If you got a few wrong, it's okay. Watch the video again. You just need more practice. If you didn't get anything wrong, great job to you as well. And practice always makes perfect. Thank you so much for watching. You can subscribe. Again, thank you so much for watching, and so sorry for not posting for a while. I'm sure I will all be back on track as soon as everything is getting better. And all I want to say is thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time.